In today's video, we are going to talk about how to create and edit custom forms using the Gravity Forms plugin. So when you log into your WordPress website, it should take you directly to the dashboard. So then to edit forms, you would go over to your side navigation where it says forms, and you would just click forms. And this will take you to where you have a list of all of the custom forms that are active on your website. So as you can see here, we have some demo forms active on our demo website. So if you wanted to edit an existing form, you could just hover over the form to see your options for editing, changing form settings, viewing form entries, previewing the form, duplicating the form, or deleting the form. So for example, if you wanted to view form entries, you would go here and click entries. And this will show you a list of all of the active entries on the website, all of the people who have submitted for this form. So if you wanted to view more details about a specific submission, you would hover over that name and you could click view. And that would take you here and show you all of the information they filled out. And if you needed to resend a form notification, you could just go over here and click admin notification, enter your email, and click resend. So then if you wanted to go back to your list of forms, you would just go over to your side navigation again and click forms. And then if you wanted to add a new form, you could go up here and click add new. And this will open up your options for creating a form from a template or creating a form from scratch. So if you wanted to create a form from a template, you could select any of the templates available with Gravity Forms. This is a very robust form builder. You can build pretty much any form that you want. So if you wanted to build an application form, a registration form, a poll, or a survey, you have options for that, and you can either choose from the template or just build from scratch. And today we're just going to go ahead and select blank form so we can build something from scratch. And then here you'll enter your form title and description. These will appear on the front end when you publish the form, so make sure that's what you want to be appearing on the front end. So I'm going to title this form demo form, and I don't have a description for this, so I'm going to leave that blank, and then I will click create blank form. And then from there, this opens up the form editor. So if you wanted to add in different form fields, this is where you would start. But first, I'm going to change some of our form settings by going up to the top here where it says settings and clicking on form settings. So this is where you would change some of the settings of the form. Primarily in form settings, you're going to hang out here under form basics where you're changing the title, and under form layout. So the one change that I tend to like to make under form layout is I like to change description placements to above inputs. So that way, if you put a description on a form field, it's going to go above where the input box is, and I just think that looks better. And you can also change the alignment of labels and sublabels on your form fields here. And then when you're done making changes in the form setting, you would just click Save Settings. And this is also where you would go to change your confirmation message. So if you went over here and clicked confirmations, this is the message that appears when a user submits the form. So if you wanted to change that, you would just hover over the default confirmation and click Edit. And then here is where you could change the message. And if you were done changing the message, you would just click Save Confirmation. And then under notifications is where you would edit the settings for your admin notifications. So if you wanted to edit those settings, you would go over here to admin and you would click edit. And so this is where you would determine what email form notifications are sent to, what fields are being sent in a form notification, all that stuff. Primarily what you're going to change here is the send to email. So for that, you would enter whatever email you want the form to send to. I'm just going to go ahead and enter my emails for this. You can add multiple emails by just adding a comma in between. And then you can also customize like what form fields appear over here, but generally this is really the field that you're going to edit here. And so when you're done with that, you would just click update notification. Those are really the three main areas of the form settings that you're going to hang out in. So then whenever you are ready to edit the form, you would just go back and click edit. And it will take you back here to your form editor. So once you're here in the form editor, you have access to all of the different form fields to create and edit a form. So you'll see here you have standard fields, advanced fields, post fields, and pricing fields. Primarily, you are going to be using the standard fields and the advanced fields. So just for an example, I'm going to go ahead and create kind of a basic demo form. So let's say this is kind of a basic contact form and you want somebody to be able to add their name. So we'll select the name field. And then to make edits to this field, you can click on the field and that should open up field settings. If it doesn't, you can go over here and hover over where it says field settings and you can click that. And so here you can kind of customize what the field label name is, if you want to add a description, if you want to add prefixes, middle names, suffixes, you could just toggle all of those on or toggle them off. You can even change what that sub-label is. So if you don't want this to say first, you would just type in whatever you want it to say. We'll just have it say second. You can add that as well. I'm going to go ahead and delete that and leave it as first. You can make this a required field, so we'll go ahead and do that. And then if you want to change some of the appearance, you would just go down here and open up appearance. So again, if you want the field label to be changed, you can hide the field label. Or you can just leave it visible if you want the description to be changed. So in our settings, we changed it to above inputs, but if you want different fields to be different, you can make it below inputs or above inputs. We're going to leave it for form settings. Same with the sub-label placement. You can change that in the form settings, but you can also change it here for individual fields if you wanted this to be above inputs so that it was name first and last above. You could do that. I'm going to leave it with the form settings as well. In advanced, you can change things like visibility if you want this to be hidden or if you want this to be only available to administrators, you can do that. And then in conditional logic, you can also enable conditional logic if you only want this field to show after certain things have been filled out. So that's where you would do this. Here are all your options. You can show or hide this field if any or all of the following rules are met. And that will be options to select based on the form fields that you have. So we'll have the name form field. Let's go ahead and have a phone number form field. You can drag and drop any of these however you want. You could duplicate fields. We're going to go to form settings and I'm going to go to appearance. You can change the field size here in appearance. So if you want this to be smaller, medium, or large, you can change that here. I'm going to leave it as large because I'm going to go ahead and put an email form field right next to it. So we have name, phone, email. Let's go ahead and add a date, date of contact. So let's change this. We'll go to general and we'll say date of contact. And then this is where you could change the input style. So you could have it be as a date field, as a date picker, or as a date dropdown. We recommend the date dropdown. It's the most user-friendly and the most accessible. You can also change the date format here to any of these different formats. I'm going to leave it as is. We won't make this a required field. I am going to make phone though and email required fields. And then we'll give them a place to, we'll have them say how they heard about us. So for that, we'll use a radio button right next to the date field. I'm going to delete the extra radio button that's there. So we'll go here, we'll say, how did you hear about us? And then we will edit choices and we'll say word of mouth, Google, Facebook, we'll add more, we'll say Instagram, and we'll say other. And then that will be that. So then for other, we'll add an example of the conditional logic. We'll go up here and select single line text, and we'll go down here. We'll add that in. I'm going to say if other, please describe, and then down here under conditional logic, we'll select enable conditional logic. Will show only if all of the following rules are met, if how you hear about us is other. And then I think lastly, we'll go ahead and add a paragraph text. And this will be a place where people can add, what can we help you with? And then for appearance, I'm going to make this box smaller. So right now it's large. I'm actually just going to make it small. And then we'll go ahead and click Save Form. We can preview the form over here. So there it is. And if we, in the preview, selected other, there is our conditional logic box that comes up. So I'm going to exit out of the preview, and then when you're ready to publish this, you will go over here to embed. And the best way to do this is to just go down to where it says copy shortcode, click copy shortcode, and then we'll go up here to our top toolbar and we'll click add new page. Then from here, it will load a new page for us. We're going to go ahead and click use the Divi Builder. We will title this page Demo Form. We will select Build from Scratch. One section, and we'll just put one text box here. And then all we have to do is paste that shortcode. And this is the shortcode for the form. We'll click Save Changes. We can go here to Preview. Here is our form. So if we're happy with that, we will click exit out of the preview, publish. And then once it loads, we will go up here to the top and click View Page. And here is our new form. So that is kind of the basics of how you would use the Gravity Form Builder on your WordPress website.